Welcome to Band Scamps, an in-depth look at albums and releases by West Michigan artists. Hosted by Dan Fisher and Julio Gomez. This week on Band Scamps, Dan and Julio review Crooked Spires by Crooked Spires and Keep Up by WOOTS.
Hello, Internet.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm
not saying my name's Internet.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
We haven't seen each other in a while. I don't want you to get confused about that.
Thank you for clarifying.
Okay.
Just top of my memory, I think your name is Julio, and I think my name is Dan.
Okay, we're getting there.
And I think this is called Band Scamps, and I think this is episode 17.
Yeah, I think you're right. Episode 17.
Yeah, I'm just speculating here, but...
Yeah. We took a little bit of a break in recording.
We took a little break, but you might not know that here because we're in a different time here.
Yeah, we're slowly bringing everyone to speed. We got the whole legacy going on here.
That's right.
The Scamp Legacy universe.
I've been watching a lot of Legend of Zelda theory videos, and they talk a lot about time travel in that. And
yeah, there's a bit of that in that movie.
Yes.
In those games.
So time travel is heavy in my mind right now.
Great. Perfect.
Yeah. So, we're back from the break.
Yep. This is the second part of, I guess you can call it season 1.
That's right.
I'm not ready for season 2, I don't think.
I don't think we'll ever get there, really.
Do you think it's just always going to be one season?
Yeah.
So some shows do that. They do like season episodes, you know?
That's right.
Listener, what do you think? Seasons? No seasons? I don't think it matters.
You tell us.
We can totally revamp and reformat if we do different
Yeah, we can
seasons.
rescamp.
Mm-hmm. Re-forescamp?
Yeah.
Ooh, forescamp does not sound... That's not a good thing.
Oof. Cut it, guys.
I'm going to try to not ever say that one again. I'm sorry.
I am so sorry to all the listeners here.
I am really sorry about it.
We are still getting our scamp legs back.
Yep. But we're back. We're back, and this is episode 17.
And guess what? We're reviewing 2 West Michigan artists.
Holy moly.
Yeah, a little different from last time where we reviewed 2 West Michigan artists.
We do a 2 to 4 kind of thing, but usually 2.
Usually
but
2.
You know what? I'm glad. I thought you were going to say, here's a little surprise. We're doing a third one.
You didn't listen to it at all.
No, I would have listened to it, but I would have pretended I listened to it. Is what you would have thought I listened to it. You know what I mean?
Yo,
that's showbiz.
That's pro shit. That's pro shit.
I mean, we had to make up for weeks off somehow, you know.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm excited to talk about this. Do you want to jump in?
I think we should just jump in.
Let's go in. Listeners have been patient. We're only like 3 minutes in. Let's go right in. This is a record.
That's right. This is a record.
And this is a record we're going to talk about.
That's right.
It's by WOOTS.
It's called Keep Up, and it came out May 22 of this year. So it's hot, it's ready, and it's not pizza. So it already has that working against it.
That it's not pizza?
Right.
Wow, I honestly didn't even think to consider that it wasn't a food item.
I know.
All of my reviews, all my ratings have been food based too. So that's really interesting. That's kind of getting to the heart of where my mind's at.
And that's not the band's fault. It's that's just the nature of just how the world is, and just like physical matter. It's either pizza or not pizza.
Fair. Well, I'll have to make sure to give that criteria to every single band we review from here on.
Yeah. The next question: did they get there? And is it pizza?
Is it pizza? Is it pizza? I love it. I think that's a really easy question to talk about.
Yeah, we might be shooting ourselves in the foot though. It might be a very in-depth question whether it's pizza or not. So
yeah. Do we have the time every week to get into that? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But we have time to get into this one.
Let's do it.
Let's talk right away about... I'm kind of hot here. Let's talk right away about album art.
Album art, yes. So we are all... full disclosure here, we have listened to one song by this artist from this record in one of our hot singles episodes.
Yeah, they submitted one, and so this is another kind of close back-to-back kind of thing.
Right.
Same thing happened a couple weeks ago with Silent Spirit.
Exactly.
So this is going to be kind of a very similar scenario, I feel.
And I believe the artwork is shared from the single to this album here. So we've already talked about it, but as a refresher, it's I believe a picture of like a city and a beach. I think it's a beachscape, and then there's like a upside down city and like a girl falling, but upside down.
I thought maybe it was Woots, and then I zoomed in on it today, and it looks like a child with a ponytail.
Right, like with flare jeans. Shadow flare jeans.
Yep. So yeah, you mentioned, so we did talk about this single, which is actually track 2, so we can get that out of the way. Mm-hmm. But we can refresh on that when we get to that as well. Right. So I think the art's good. I think it's pretty fitting. It kind of gives me like maybe it's going to be a little bit heady in a way. Sure. You know, it kind of reminds me of a Pink Floyd album a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like that kind of like up is down, down is up, you know.
Sure. I actually think this could be a good jazz cover.
Oh yeah.
You know, this could be a great jazz album cover. This is not jazz. Or so we say.
I think it gets there. I think, but
yeah.
we may be jumping ahead. But
I
do think it gets there. Definitely.
That's for sure. So let's get right into it. Track 1 is an intro.
Yep, intro. It's called intro.
It's
right?
called intro. So this is basically kind of like the first impressions going into it. So my first impression really.
First impressions.
I know. Here we go.
We're
going.
Going right back into it,
baby. First impression is that I'm thinking I'm gonna hear a lot of similar stuff from the single we reviewed, which was Miles Ahead.
Yeah. That single did leave us like wanting more, you know.
Right.
It kind of made us feel like, okay, maybe it's gonna be a really varied record. This is kind of exciting what we have to offer, and we're gonna have more of this. And I think you and I are both on the same page as far as what we were expecting with this record.
Yes,
which is I think maybe as a good first impressions too, because we do know this band, or we know what they've shared with so far.
Exactly, but the intro I would say is was surprising to me, just because it's like this really nice kind of cute acoustic guitar little ditty
with like a beach waves in the background.
Yeah, like a little soundscape thing going on.
Seems chill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just very nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, this is nice.
I talked once about intro tracks, how I think they're risky.
They are risky.
And I kind of felt like this one was kind of a risky intro track.
Yeah.
But how long was it? Like 20 seconds? Something like that?
It's very short. But considering the rest of the record, it makes more sense to me.
Okay.
But at the time when I listened to it, it didn't make sense to me.
Interesting. Yeah, I was really like, okay, what is this going to be? I think I had all my ears set on this record, because I listened to this one second out of the 2 records that we are going to do today. And
gotcha.
You said you did it first, right?
That's right.
Okay. So, risky.
Risky, but it does
short.
But it does kind of bleed into Miles Ahead, the second track.
And we did talk about this next track.
Yes.
You said Miles Ahead. Mm-hmm. Listener, if you want to check this out, this was on episode 14? No, episode 13.
Yes.
Episode 13, Hot West Michigan Singles in Your Area. We do 4 singles, and WOOTS is the last one that we do. And it's our first in-person.
That's right. Wow.
So we talked already at length about that. I don't know if we need to do that again, but let me go over some things that maybe I didn't talk about.
Sure.
There's some rapping on here.
There's rapping.
And this time I actually gave it some more attention. And it's actually pretty cool. Some of the lyrics were cool. The flow was good. It didn't really irk me. And like I thought that was interesting. Yeah,
I actually, I really was able to, like, now that we've already talked about it, I was able to kind of like listen more passively. And it's a really enjoyable track.
Mm-hmm. It really is. We really liked it too back when we first heard it. And I don't think we have a whole lot more to say except for like, I do have some questions actually.
Okay.
Who is singing? Who is the singer on this main thing?
So I think it's WOOTS.
Okay.
And I think the rapper is someone else.
Yeah. I think we landed on the rapper being somewhere else, but I wondered if the singer was a guest vocalist or it is WOOTS.
Yeah. So when the first listen of Miles Ahead, I thought the rapper was WOOTS and the singer was someone else.
And we're going to do credits after this. It's a long, extensive thing. And we can talk about that we know this is basically a composer-based band. You know, it's kind of one guy's idea.
Yeah.
And it's Evan WOOTS. Yeah. We'll get to the actual official names
like
in a second.
Like a Mark Ronson kind of deal. Like he's a producer.
Yeah. Or maybe even like Beach Boys dude.
Sure.
You know, Brian Wilson. Mm-hmm. But he does feature heavily, I think, on the guitar as well, right? I think it's on the guitar, I think it's on the piano, so very interesting there.
Yeah.
We didn't really know that much information. I think we kind of dig more for this, and now it's presented in this.
Exactly.
So I do have, the older guy's voice comes out of nowhere, and is sort of hilarious but cool.
Yeah.
Like, and that you think is WOOTS singing.
I think that is WOOTS.
I was honestly picturing like a really, really old guy.
That's what I thought.
Like an old, like blues black guy.
That's what I thought.
Okay. So
and that's not who Evan WOOTS is.
So I didn't really come to the realization of who the singer actually is until way later in this record. So I might as well get it out of the way now, because I was like, who is singing this? Because there's a lot of implications about this depending on who's singing.
When I listened to it, I was still very unsure, and then through deductive research and listening, I think I'm able to make the determination that is Woots singing. Still unsure. No, I'm still not 100%.
Okay, so
sure.
listener, again, this is all speculative as always.
As always, some things never change.
I was listening to the one episode where the Cotter Koopman, where I was editing the other day, and the song is called like Mike something, and you're like, I think that's Mike on the thing. You're like, this is all speculative, people. maybe laugh, because like it really is. Even that is like, even though it seems obvious, I was like, good disclaimer and hilarious disclaimer. Interesting single to lead the album.
I think it's I think it's interesting compared to the rest of the record, but I think it's a strong intro.
I think so too. I think it's very strong.
Yeah.
I would have made it track 1 personally.
Yes.
I would have just been like away.
Just combine the intro and Miles Ahead, or just toss the intro in general and just start out right away with Miles Ahead. Either way, I think I would have been fine. But it has really nice grooves.
Everybody, if you want a more in-depth look at this song, go back to that. Press pause now. Go back to episode 13.
We'll
check it out.
We'll still be here.
Okay, you're back. You want to go on to track 2?
I think so.
This is called Leave It Alone.
Leave It Alone. This one, it kind of has like this weird like Incubus Tortoise vibe to me.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of a post-rock vibe. It kind of has a bit of like early punk vibe, even like Talking Heads. Kind of like dancey rock, or like that kind of era, kind of funky. Yeah, it comes in nice drumming and bass, right?
Yeah.
Real up. Nice groove, lots of dynamics in this song. So the way this is mixed, and overall, I'm gonna go out of the way. I think this is all sounds really good.
Yeah,
I don't really
a really nice job.
Do you have any real recording qualms with any of this stuff at all?
Not really.
Yeah, I can't think of any of these. Yeah. So if you're looking for nitpick on that, I don't think we have it.
I don't think anyone's looking for anything of our thoughts. We just give it to them.
There's nobody listening at all.
Exactly.
We're not even plugged in right now.
Exactly.
Nice. The screen's drawn. I drew all this on before you got here.
I knew I looked different.
What else you got? First impressions on this song?
Okay,
because it's the stuff's all pretty proggy. You know, I mean, at first.
Yeah, I am. By this time, I'm already a little confused by the direction of the album.
Interesting,
because again, like all my expectations and first impressions were all based on Miles Ahead.
Okay,
and
that's all we really had.
That's all we really had.
I didn't really dig any deeper into this person's work.
And so by this time, I'm thinking, okay, this person dabbles in a bunch of different genres, and we're about to hear like a variety of different sounds and genres, which I'm like cool with.
Yeah,
but I was like a little just confused for a second.
Really, I thought this was like actually not that far off of what we already heard.
I think this one is like the closest so far to like this one still makes sense in like the canon of Woots, I guess.
Yeah, it does start making more sense, which is weird you say that, because what you're saying is there's some stuff in this record that sticks out as maybe not belonging as much on it, but that it actually makes up a good portion of other stuff.
I know. So maybe this early stuff is the stuff that maybe doesn't belong, or it's all hearsay really at this point. We're only on the 3rd track here. So.
Yeah. And here's where I do have, like, I'm not really crazy about the singing here, but I do like the songwriting. I like the songwriting.
Me too.
I like some of the lyrics, actually. I like some of the concepts. Cool vibe. Nice guitar.
Vibe. Yeah, it's got like this kind of like dad rock.
What do you think of that? Did you like that part? Okay.
Yeah,
I wish it was louder.
Yeah, I mean, I get down with dad rock. You know?
That was one critique I had. I was like, I do wish this was a little bit louder.
Yeah,
you know, and I have rock on.
Yeah, it's a long song, but it grooves. It has this like kind of piano bridge that I don't think that didn't really fit.
Okay,
but otherwise,
that was like what said freedom, where they're saying freedom on that part. I kind of like that part.
It kind of took me out of the groove. I was like really kind of grooving.
So I'm kind of right there in my notes too. I have Santana's 60s kind of vibe, funk rock, and I have like nice freedom breakdown.
Okay.
And I do say here though, like there's some nitpicking here that I'm going to do, but thankfully it doesn't do anything long enough for me to hate it all that much.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least in this early part of it. It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't ruin the song for me.
So even though I say like, oh, I like that breakdown, I also have my very next statement is like, maybe I don't like that. Maybe I didn't like that much.
Overall, though, I think this is like a really cool song.
Yeah. Great drumming.
Yeah.
Really great drumming.
Yeah, I can't remember if he plays drums or someone else plays drums, but either way, really nice.
And then it kind of goes off into this like rock breakdown.
It
actually gets very rock and roll for a second, and I think tastefully done.
Yeah.
Like it really is like, this is actually like legit rock and roll now.
It's kind of like Pink Floyd.
I have Pink Floyd meets Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I have Floyd meets Buffett. I have Guns N' Roses.
Whoa, yeah. I hear Roses for sure.
Nice guitar stuff. There's some fun, I like those like really like soaring, like melodies and leads just keep going higher, and you don't know when they're going to stop going higher. They keep building and harmonizing,
Yeah. They get very Floydy. I want to remember the phrase Floyd meets Buffett though. That phrase.
Floyd
that could be a really great
Floyd meets Buffett.
Floyd meets Buffett sounds like a great like TV sitcom or something. Like Boy Meets World, but Floyd meets Buffett.
Floyd and Buffett.
Floyd and Buffett. Like
there you go. That's a good name for it.
Our new cop.
That's a good name, dude. That's a good name for like a comedy duo.
Yeah,
or like Floyd and Buffett.
Yeah,
or like a improv troupe.
Yeah, catch us on like a 94 or 5.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Floyd and Buffett in the morning. Interesting ending on this. That's all I really got to say, man.
Same.
This album has a cool start, and I'm still like, I'm really like interested to see what's going to happen next, And so we go to the next song, which is called Home.
Mm-hmm. And this one kind of has like almost like a post-rock like emo vibe to me in a way, or like at least heavy 2000s like alt rock.
Okay.
Like early 2000s.
Like what? Okay. I kind of have like Dave Matthews.
I also kind of has a Christian rock vibe.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I didn't ask that question on here. I do have Jack Johnson, John Mayer, Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a nice change of pace, this song. He's got good singing on this. I actually like the singing.
Still cool guitar stuff.
Here's what I have again. No production notes. It all sounds good. It's kind of winning me over.
Yeah. I think the vocals could have had maybe some more dynamics.
Yeah.
But... Again,
I think this album loses some of the dynamics that it had in the first couple of songs that were really good. Mm-hmm. It's winning me over. The stuff that has its roots in like all hippie music stuff. I'm starting to realize. You know what I mean? We have like we have like the acoustic-y thing. We have like the rapping. Mm-hmm. We have the kind of jazzy funk. We have the kind of spazzy funk.
It's got guitar solos.
The Pink Floyd. Yeah. It's hippie, and now we have this kind of like acoustic-y breakfast kind of song.
Yeah, for sure.
And so they obviously have their roots in the hippie music scene, and so they're going to play to that.
Yes.
So this is a good time for us to like maybe accept this music on its terms. You know what I mean?
For sure.
From here on out, which I think we've done a pretty good job of.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else on this?
I don't really.
Okay, cool.
I think the next song is Awake.
It is Awake. Yeah.
My first comment is, whoa, country. Okay.
Yeah. My first comment is R.I.P. headphones. I think they came in too loud for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, bluegrassy.
Yeah,
right?
it's like but it's like Harvest era, like Neil Young Harvest era kind of thing.
Yeah, it just seems kind of bluegrass,
yeah.
I have here again. I'm not liking the vocalist that much at this point. I still don't know that it's WOOTS. I have this is kind of cheeseball. This is kind of starting to the like stuff shining through the cracks for me a little bit.
I think by this time that's the only 2 notes I have for this song, and I think by this time I'm just trying to like understand what's going on with this record.
Okay.
Because we've had like it's been quite a ride so far.
You don't have any so on the last song I had this kind of declarative statement of like this has its roots in hippie music.
Yeah.
And I can see, and even here I'm like bluegrass, more hippie.
Mm-hmm.
This is that kind of stuff.
That makes
interesting.
I think right now I'm like really shocked. I'm like, whoa, okay. This is like
I was shocked by the bluegrass too, actually.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. It sounded fine.
Compared to like think about this song and then like the first song.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild difference.
Very much so. Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
I have a note here about hippies and bluegrass.
Ooh.
Hippies, listener, have a very high tolerance for bluegrass.
They do.
Like they never think it's bad. I've never heard anyone be like, oh, they're not a very good bluegrass band. It's like, oh, bluegrass? It's automatically great. So these bands can get away with whatever.
I know.
They can get away with anything as long as it's bluegrass.
I know.
And I'm not even saying, listener, don't get me wrong, and artists, I'm not saying this is bad, but it's not especially good bluegrass.
Right, like the amount of criticism that goes into the bluegrass from the bluegrass community is like none.
Negligible,
like,
yeah.
If mandolin, they're like A+.
They just have to be a part of it.
Exactly.
They're just like, oh, cool, it's bluegrass, great.
Yeah.
And there probably are some things that are better than others,
Yeah.
But it's always around. There's always some bands that are better than other ones at it, and it always kind of sounds like, unless it's especially good.
Right.
And that's like kind of few and far between. I don't think I would listen to this again for the bluegrass.
No, I I mean, I'll be the first to admit, like, I do not like bluegrass.
Okay, you don't like it at all?
I really
don't. I
don't.
like it.
I don't.
Okay.
That's
all right.
I dated a girl once who liked bluegrass, and like when I told her that I didn't like bluegrass, she like didn't know how to respond to that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Was that it for you?
It was like a deal breaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's too bad, man.
Yeah, it's all right. R.A.P. bluegrass.
Next
one?
I have written here.
Okay.
I can't wait for the song to be over. I don't know when I wrote that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the ending of the song? There's an ending effect. Did you hear it?
I think honestly it was like bluegrass, and I was just like
checked out.
I kind of checked out.
There was a simulated record scratching thing at the end that I assumed you would hate it. So
I mean, already I'm already on like I'm not really
Okay.
feeling this. So
you were already there.
yeah, I'm always already there.
I just like guessing when you're gonna hate something.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Off the dock.
This one is another kind of acoustic-y, pedal steely thing.
So now it's 2 in a row. We kind of have like the connecting factor for the first half has been like the hippie vibe, and now it's like 2 like strong bluegrass songs.
Yeah,
and now I'm confused.
Yeah,
I'm like straight up confused.
Yeah,
at this point, and I'm just trying to like digest it, and I'm kind of like speechless at this point.
So yeah, okay. At this point, I write these vocals are funny, and I ask, is this a comedy record? You know, and that's always like fun.
Yeah,
that's a fun thing, and I have the vocals are always a little bit behind the beat.
Yeah,
so I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that it might be the artist singing on it, because it's like it does sound a little bit like it's like could be nudged forward, or just like, or there's just too much time to do. You know, it's like too much trying to add too much swing to the vocals every time. You know,
yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't notice that, but like that's a good observation. I like that.
The message is cool. Lyrics are cool. I even think the song is like kind of strong. It's like kind of a strong written song.
Yeah.
But this production and performance is not really doing it for me.
Yeah, I think the vocals are really kind of like the point. That's like the one thing that's really kind of throwing me off.
You're just having a hard time getting past it.
Yeah.
I think I was there too. I just had this is a strong song. It's not for me though. And I think I'm like trying to be nice here. I'm not really sure.
I mean, like the banjo playing is like strong. You know, like they're a great banjo player if it's WOOTS.
Yeah, I think it might be Mark Lavengood on the banjo stuff on that.
Okay,
on that stuff.
I thought it was maybe.
It could be a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
right?
I thought maybe he was on the mandolin or something.
Oh, I don't know. I think he does. Well, I don't know. We'll have to.
Yeah.
We'll
find out.
We'll do a whole
Stay
thing.
tuned.
We'll do a whole thing. Stay
Yeah.
tuned for credits. The most exciting part of the show.
It really is. It's the best part.
It's the best part. I am 100% present for
That's
it
right.
when we do it. I don't know. You want to go to the next song?
Yeah.
Cool message. Lyrics are cool.
Yeah.
Overall, the lyrics are kind of interesting on here.
I think, okay, so next song here.
Steady Strides.
Yeah, Steady Strides.
Okay, lay it on me.
By this time, I'm like, I actually write, I honestly can't believe I'm listening to the same record at this
Really?
point. I'm like,
I kind of, man, it was all over the place.
yeah. And I'm just like, okay, for those who have bingo cards.
Yeah. Ooh.
I asked myself, is this racist?
Ooh, okay. I never really got there because I kind of assumed that the singer might have been black.
I did some research while listening to this because I was like, what is happening?
Okay.
And then I saw that he's white,
Okay.
and I was like, oh.
Okay. So I didn't get there because I assumed he was not white.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but so you were maybe almost there. Yeah, let's
Monocle.
They're
Lady
tied
in the
together. That's a band scam first. That's like the powers combined monocle.
Yeah,
I don't even see that. That is tied together by magic.
Monocle.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Engaged.
So
I do have. This is not very authentic. All of a sudden, I write. This is not very auth. And I don't want to hear about this guy's New Orleans thing, right? It was like he was in New Orleans. There's someone in.
I don't know. I was like, if honestly, I was getting like borderline like offended.
Steady Strides.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually want to hear about this person's life.
Yeah.
I actually want to hear their story, and I don't know if this is their story, so it made me like not feel very good.
Yeah. It felt ingenuine, and especially after finding out that he's not black. I
think we're gonna have like objections to to that. And maybe is that like making us a little racist? It's possible. I'm okay with being a little racist if it means that people who are being very racist are being called out on
I
it.
think they're, but like,
sure. It's not that they're being very. I don't know.
We've touched on this though, but and there's a point where like, and maybe it's just because of the state of the world right now, but like being derivative and is like such a fine line.
Yeah.
And so
we're always constantly reevaluating and rethinking how we think and do things too.
Yeah, I mean, just we've interacted a little bit with what's online, and I feel confident saying that he's not racist.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
So I don't think he's intentionally trying to do anything racist at all with this music, but I am feeling slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, so this music's like somewhere between blues and jazz. Not my vibe. There's kind of a lot of filler on this record, huh?
Yeah. By this time, I'm like, okay, we know that you like this,
and then all of a sudden, bluegrass out of nowhere again.
More blugrass
out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on bluegrass now.
Okay, we're doing bluegrass.
You know, I did like the last 5 seconds of this song.
Oh wow, I don't remember the last 5 seconds.
They were good.
Okay, sick.
Listener.
But I also
I was gonna say listener when I say something that I can't back up.
I love it. It's just like they'll back me up.
Yeah, they know. Listener.
I do write down that like my personal biases are definitely like a big part of this. So I am very aware that like that's part of it, and I do acknowledge that these are like they're fine songs. You know, I don't think they're bad, but
I think some of them are straight up very, very strong songs. You know? Next song.
Rolling
Coal. More bluegrass,
and especially by this title, now I'm really kind of getting into.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Now we're really crossing into some dicey territory.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I had some high hopes for this record.
Me too.
I had some high hopes. Yeah.
By this time, like I couldn't really take. I have no notes for this because like the title alone and the style of singing, I was just like, I can't.
Yeah, I had high hopes. I'm not sure it's doing it for me. It feels not like authentic again. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
And I wrote. I'm just gonna kind of suffer through this, I guess.
Yeah.
And I have. This sounds like it was made for WICE in 2002. I have. What did he just say? He was gonna murder someone?
Right.
And then I said that was sort of hard to get through.
Again, like I have like no notes because I was just speechless at this point. I was just like, I just gotta like deal with this one, and then
that's funny.
Hopefully, we get out of this haze.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I was kind of like, come on, just like I kept checking the time on this one.
Yeah.
Next song is called Untitled. I don't like that. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. More fun.
Yes, I said this seems more back to what I expected, and I'm like, okay, cool.
It felt good. Huh?
Yeah.
It felt good to get back. It
yeah,
felt good.
We're back, baby.
Back to what we know.
Yep. Otherwise, though, it's like it's now we're back in the jam band stuff. You know.
Am I allowed to bring up Steely Dan in this episode, or do you think the entire Michigan jazz community will shit themselves if I bring them up again?
You know what? It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
Horns are a good touch.
Horns are a great touch.
Keys sound good.
Mm-hmm. At this point, like I feel like legit energized.
Yeah. It felt good.
Yeah.
You know, the vocals are kind of getting me on this release again. I think overall it's my least favorite part of it.
Same.
And like, there's not a whole lot we can do about that because he's a singer.
Exactly.
You know? And honestly, like, not everyone likes my voice. You know, I don't know. Vocals are very, very, very specific to the person.
It is. That's what I'll really make a break for a lot of music for folks, including me.
But yeah, I think we're listing a few things already that we already sing wrong with it. That is like, okay, we don't like this, we don't like that. Maybe that's just.
I think that's just
how we
personal
feel.
bias at this point, and that's. You know, that's not something we run away from, but we do acknowledge it.
Beside like the pointless tepid bluegrass, it's the vocals that are getting me. It kind of sounds like TV show music, like original, this kind of stuff, like original music for a show.
Sure.
I don't know how to, like, the house band is playing. I'm not really sure how to describe that. It's not a diss. It's actually good.
Yeah, that's a hard thing for the listeners. There's a lot when we say comments like that.
Yeah.
They're just like, whoa, and I'm like, no.
The unintentional disses. Well, here's
Yeah.
I also could not make this record in a million years.
Nope.
Not even anywhere close to as good as this.
No.
Like, for what it's good at and when it's good, it is really cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it very often,
right.
Unfortunately.
Yes. But
it's a slog.
I mean, shout out for trying like new things, you know, and different things.
Is that what's happening here, you think? I guess it has to be. It's also varied, huh?
Right. I mean, like, so if he's coming from like country bluegrass background and that's what he does, and then he did like all those other different songs. Like that's kind of sick.
Yeah.
And that shows that he has like.
Do you think he's coming more from a country background?
That's my guess by this point, since we just had to listen to like 3 like heavy country.
That's why I wondered,
songs.
because they weren't all that great of country bluegrass songs. If maybe that's a new branching out for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. At this point, I'm not really sure. I guess I think at this point, I'm also saying like I guess this is a country record.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be.
Yeah, me either. I wanted it to be like a hip hop record.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I'm still kind of excited to see what comes next in this record.
Yeah.
Even like as I'm listening to this, and I'm kind of like, oh, I'm still like, what's next?
Yeah,
what's next? You know?
Exactly.
And it's successful in that way.
Yeah,
it keeps you guessing, and keeps you wanting more.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to the next track?
Yeah, this is outro. Or no, Denver.
We got Denver. This is kind of a slower acoustic start, and then it's got kind of a horns, kind of some horns jamming around with them.
I think this one is like, this is a track that really shows what Woots is like good at. And it's like a blend of styles, and I think this is like again like more of what I was wanting, and I think something that he actually excels in.
Yeah, these are the cool songs.
Mm-hmm.
The singing is not my thing. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
It all sounds really good. They all got their money's worth on this recording, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
There's some cool jazz fusion in this song.
Exactly.
Am I allowed to mention Steely Dan again? Probably not.
I don't know.
I like these jams, and I wish we had more of this kind of stuff in this record.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a repeating thing.
Yeah. Woots, if you're listening to this, keep doing stuff like that. Like I really think that's cool. Like I like the blend of styles, and like
you do really excel at it, and there's a lot of really nice rises and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems like they were like 2 different sessions.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually have a name. I think I came up for a name for this because this is actually going to come up in the next record a lot, I think.
All right.
So we'll get to that.
All right. All right.
I just wish we had more of the like stuff we liked.
Exactly.
You know, that's happened with other bands where we like some of it and we wish it was more like that.
Yeah, Miles Ahead, like after those like bluegrass songs, Miles Ahead sounds like an absolute banger.
Yeah, I imagine. I only did the once through on this one.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of ends.
Just kind of ends. It's another little thing, and then you're just like,
it ends, and then we got an outro.
Yeah, and then you just exhale.
Yeah, how'd you feel with that outro?
I mean, I think I was like, okay, straight up, like this is gonna sound dramatic, but I was like pretty shook by this record.
Really?
Yeah, just because of like my expectations.
Okay.
And being so wrong.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, okay. I went through it. You know, I was like, wow, okay. And so it was just kind of like a bang and then a whimper.
Yeah. I have written here, like, I don't know why I like the ending. And it was interesting. That was an interesting ride. Maybe I'll have more to say as we tape this. But I think I got everything I have to say about it.
I think so, too.
Uneven.
Yeah.
But I do like a lot of it.
And again, the production is
really
spot
nice.
on.
Very nice. Very nice. I think one of the better sounding records we've reviewed.
Yes.
By far.
Let me, why don't we just pull up the
liner notes?
The liner notes right now.
That sounds good. Listener, if you want to support us further, you can check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/bandscams. It's a really easy way to support us.
Super
cool. And you get exclusive stuff, which we make here and there, and we're going to make more of. It's kind of a motivator, and it kind of helps fund what we do with the hosting.
Exactly. Access to our private Discord server.
We're not fancy.
We're not fancy.
No,
we're
not fancy. We're down home.
Yeah, we're what is it called?
DIY. We're in the basement. This wall's not even real.
Right. We're not cottagecore yet.
I put those sounds in.
We're rustic. That's the word I'm looking for.
Cassie's gonna go answer the door now.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not gonna like that.
She's gonna
like that impersonation of her that we did either.
Oh, she's gonna give us an earful.
Yeah.
After
She's
this.
not gonna like. She doesn't listen to my episodes. Don't worry. She's not really caught up. She still has to listen to all of them.
I was gonna say she made it through episode 1, and then she was like, "That's good."
She's a little behind. She has to listen to all of them.
She's like, "That's good, babe." And you're like, "Okay."
Yep.
She just does the intros and outros.
Not outro. She does outro once.
Oh yeah, that's
she
right.
She doesn't do them every time.
Dang.
She does
hit it and quit.
She only does 1/4 of the intro each time.
Dang, must be nice.
You got those liner notes?
Yeah, I got those liner notes. Okay, so Evan Wooters, that's his full name. Evan Woots, executive producer, guitar, vocals, synthesizers, compositions, and arrangements.
Everything.
Okay. Then we have Joe Hedinga, also a producer, audio engineer, arrangements, composition, piano, Rhodes, Hammond B3, Prophet, and Moog Sub Fatty.
Okay.
Ian Gorman, producer.
Those are keyboards for anyone that doesn't know.
Ian Gorman, producer, audio engineer, mixing. Michael Arlen Bont, banjo and guitar. Mark Lavengood, dobro, mule, mandolin. Rob Campa, electric guitar, composition. Sean Leto, electric bass. Brandon Proke, a.k.a. The Brandino Extravaganza. Saxophone.
I didn't know Brandino was on here.
Saxophone,
Good job,
auxiliary
Brandon.
percussion, EWI, and support Vox. I don't know what EWI is.
And it's a electronic woodwind instrument.
Oh, sick.
They call them. Yeah, so they're pretty cool. They're programmable. So like you can move the finger positioning to whatever woodwind you want to play. Saxophone,
That's wild.
clarinet. Yeah, I kind of want to get one.
Dude, please. Quick, yeah, sell your guitar now.
Bust it out.
Yeah. Max Brown, pedal steel. Samuel Eflin, drums and percussion. Terrence Massey, trumpet. Caleb Elzinga, saxophone. Jack McDonald's, upright bass. JJ Ross, support vocals. Carrie McFerrin, support vocals. MC Friendly, raps. Joe Sturgill, audio engineer. Kevin Cazell, audio engineer and producer. And Jake Lashnick is just a name that's with nothing next to it. So Jake is somewhere involved. So
It's kind of hanging out.
So there's a whole slew of folks involved in this. So
I did check out during that. I forgot where we were.
That's the liner notes.
Okay, so listener, hope you enjoyed that liner notes segment starring Dan Fisher.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's give it a rating.
Oh boy.
I know.
I'm going to go with not a pizza.
I'm going to go with unpizza.
Okay. The opposite of pizza?
Just
Unpizza.
Unpizza.
You know what's weird is scientists don't know where like 80% of the unpizza on Earth even is.
I know.
They know it exists. They don't know where the unpizza is.
Dude, that's the straight up the stuff that keeps me up at night.
Me too. Listener, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come back to this thrilling episode, The Return of Band Scamps.
Don't go anywhere, and let's find out if it's pizza.
Is it still rude to point if it's at the camera? No, they do it all the time.
Yeah, they do it all the time. Is it pizza?
Is this pizza?
Are you pizza? Am I pizza? Is he pizza?
We'll see you in a second.
Band Scamps, episode 17, part 2.
We're back.
Hey.
We're back in more than one. We're back from a break, and we're back from a break.
We're back from a break. Little housekeeping here.
Go for it.
We are accepting submissions, as we always are. Submit to bandscamps@gmail.com. We are taking submissions from 2020 or 2021.
You know, a lot of people don't know how do I get my album on your show? It's really easy.
It's so easy.
If you listen to what Dan said, I almost called you Ban.
Ban Fisher. If you just listen to what I said, email us. Or find us on our Instagram page at bandscamps_. Send us a DM.
Yeah, well, anywhere. Facebook. That works. That all works for me.
I made us a custom URL for Facebook. Yeah, so it's facebook.com/bandscamps, except there's no A in scamp.
Okay.
Because they won't let you have scamp in your URL.
Wow. That's gonna be easy to remember too for our fans.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I tried every which way to fit scamp in there, and that was the only way. So
is it like a bad word?
I guess.
You think in British English, it's like, oh, we called you a fucking scamp.
I tried a bunch of different variations, and I think scamp is like no.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we got zucked.
Well, we're gonna get scamping on down the line anyway.
That's right.
We have another release.
It came out the same day as WOOTS Keep Up.
It came out in 2020 or 2021?
2021, May 22nd.
We're sure it's 2021?
Yeah.
I thought it came out last year.
Nah, dog.
Wow.
Nah, dog.
I love the new stuff. I love all this new music.
New music is pretty sick, actually.
It is sick.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I like old music. This is 2020. May 22nd, 2020.
Oh, so
Yep.
it came out 1 year prior.
Okay.
too. My mistake.
That's okay. I do think it's relevant for this discussion.
I appreciate you fact checking me though. That's really good to know.
I think that because Cassie actually checked this one, and so shout out to Cassie, our
Shout out
creative
Cassie.
consultant.
She gave us an earful when we took a quick break. But
Yeah, she did. She was like, I heard you guys were doing impressions of me downstairs.
she's like, I heard it crystal
and
clear.
I didn't like it. Oh, there's a fly in the room.
Oh,
if that lands on my
shit.
head like Mike Pence, you gotta tell me, okay?
Oh yeah,
Do you
what's up?
remember that?
I forgot about it till now. That's amazing.
I feel like we needed. I wish that we all had that moment
Dang.
together to share. It was so funny.
Yo, okay,
It was
straight
so
up,
incredible.
that fly is like the original scamp.
He is. He was actually inspiration for episodes 1 through 10.
Yeah,
of Pan
what's that
Scamps.
fly?
So this.
That's heavy. We're gonna bring that meme back with the scamps.
The fly.
Yeah, the fly. Like you zoom in and it's got the band scamps logo.
Or it's
on
like
it.
it's two-headed. It's my head and your head on top of one fly.
and we're just like,
Yeah. I love it. Okay. This is then a 2020 release, and it came out in May. So I think we're talking about another band that had a plan to put out a record as a band and just be a band, right?
yep, exactly.
But the pandemic got in the way.
Got in the way.
So this is Crooked Spires,
Self-titled.
self-titled.
Um,
What is that name? Did you look in it more into the name?
I didn't
to
look
pique
into
your
the
interest?
name.
I think it's about like when church steeples, like sometimes over time will twist and warp,
okay.
and they're like crooked or twisted spires.
Ah.
And I think it's because like the church spires, and they'll be like, oh, back in the day they thought it was like maybe magic or witchcraft that was doing it, or expert craftsmanship, but really it was probably like materials warping and being replaced.
Gotcha.
And that settled.
I
so
love
you'll
that.
see it in Europe. It's like all these like churches that have like crooked spires.
I always think, when I think of Spires, I always think of this Batman comic that I really love called Batman Gothic, written by Grant Morrison. And it's just crazy. And the Spires come in because they were like mythed to like help like direct prayers to God.
Okay.
And they kind of use the spire shape in part of the plot. I won't spoil it for y'all.
I didn't realize that you were that much of a comic book person.
I'm a light reader, but I was more into it a few years ago.
If
But
you're a light reader, it's good because they're like one sentence at a time.
exactly.
They're like, hey, and the guy's like, what?
Exactly.
And then pow.
And I'm like, whew,
Yeah.
gotta get to bed.
Yeah. You're like, I gotta read that over again.
Wow.
When you're like, I read the words, but I didn't internalize the words.
That's right.
That's how I am with comic books. Actually, I can't do it. They're too dense. They're too dense for me. Too
Yeah.
over my head.
I'm still trying to finish Watchmen. You know?
Yeah.
One page at a time.
It's flipping through. I kind of just read a page at a time and
That's right.
put it back on the shelf. Artwork.
Our work is just like a design, you know. Okay, I have to talk about the font real quick. As a guitarist
Okay.
who's into pedals, this font is like the font of Earthquaker devices. And I'm not sure how many people would know that, but it's a very guitar-centric album. I don't know. It's just kind of like, for me, it's kind of a turn-off.
I think
in a way.
it's an on-trend type of font.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like more, artsy and more illustratory, and like not everything is like, minimalist. It's more of a maximalist feel. But you're saying that it's reminiscent of something that you know.
It's exactly the same as like the Earthquaker devices font.
Yeah. This is like a mixed media, maybe like art thing. I don't know.
It's nothing.
I think it's cool. I think it sticks out, and you know what it is.
Yeah.
So you want to jump right into music and first impressions?
First impressions.
First track is called Scribble or Scribble.
Scribble. It's a nice little like ambient vibe.
Yeah. I wasn't really sure what to expect with this band. I saw they did a session a while ago, and I didn't watch it. I think specifically because I was like, I don't want to watch that to mess this up. Because I think a band live and a band on a record can be so different that I don't want to mess it up. So it kind of reminds me of like Coldplay kind of music, you know?
I got that. Yes, I'm so glad that you said that because I got that vibe later on.
Coldplay,
too. Yeah,
or like even like a little bit of Radiohead, even a little bit of like mellow Beck stuff, you know? Like,
yeah,
kind of like
for
Sparkle
sure.
Horse, Jeff Buckley, chill music. It's mellow right off the bat.
super mellow.
It's a bit of hiss.
I think this was like they recorded themselves, I believe.
The whole thing?
I believe so.
Okay,
yeah.
so off the bat, good job on that, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to be nitpicky since you guys did today. I can tell that there's a little bit of weird overdrive on the bass on this first track, and it made me question my whole listening setup.
It's kind of,
yeah,
that could be distracting.
Well, I was like, I need to like actually like go to another different artist and test my headphones and stuff, and it wasn't. I thought my headphones were blown out.
Gotcha. Yeah, it will come up a few times during this just because of the drums.
Yeah, I think that's also true.
That's going to be a big thing.
Interesting
Interesting
songwriting though off the bat right away. Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of like kind of like
very minimal,
thoughtful chords or thoughtful harmonies, and a lot of just like not like monocle moments, but just like
Yeah, I think there was like some pleasurable stuff that made me enjoy what I was hearing initially.
Yeah.
The recording is kind of cruddy.
You can tell it's like home recorded.
I'm just gonna say like only from this first impression that I'm getting on this track, the recording is kind of cruddy, and I was like and I would notice I had to listen really quietly for it to not offend me, and I was missing a lot of stuff. The bass was overdriven, the hiss was weird, so I was like, okay, I wrote brain off time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like, I just need to listen to this music and not analyze rip the recording to shreds in my brain.
I think one thing that was surprising to me was how dry the vocals were, considering this is like a home recording. You know, typically when people home record, there's a lot of reverb just to kind of like cover up like whatever, any kind of inconsistencies or off-tuneness.
I think they're confident about their singing.
Yeah, which I appreciate that. I still think they could have been a little louder, but I appreciate like that they were dry.
Yeah. Okay. You liked the lack of like effects of like echo and reverb and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it does like exude like a confidence to me.
I think so too. Yeah. It's interesting. I think I have written here like what's going on with this bass.
Yeah.
And I said I'm listening on Bandcamp now and reference on different headphones. Okay. Now are you listening to something else? Then I write here, wow, there's a lot of this song left. So this song is really long.
It's really long.
Really long.
Yeah.
I'm also getting like kind of a Pedro the Lion vibe.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that like where like the melody follows the guitar, you know, and he's playing the same. There's a lot of that in this mellow song here where he's kind of following the vocal melody.
And it fits. For
yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
I mean that ambient reverb I really like because he has like it's not like so wet. You know, it's really wet, but it's not like making the guitar muddy. You know,
yeah,
which I really it was really cool.
I think the guitar sounded good, the vocal sounded good, the bass sounded a little weird. And I have here some irksome drum choices here.
Yeah, I said they could just be like more present.
I think like some of the playing is kind of like not to my liking and a little bit like oddly rigid and fancy.
Yeah.
For some of this,
it's a little like swingy kind of.
Yeah.
You know, just like I don't know. At this point, I'm trying to like admit if I'm like nitpicking with this stuff because I don't want to like automatically be like the drums are going to be bad in this record.
Yeah,
so.
I that's why I wrote brain off time. Like, tell myself, like turn your brain off a little bit and just try to like listen to what's going on here. People are probably going to like this music. I think this track especially.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really for me, but I'm trying to stay positive at this moment because I'm like, you know what? I actually do think this is interesting. This is my first of the two albums I listened to today. Do my hard in-depth look.
I have some full disclosure things I just want to get out of the way real quick.
Full disclosure moment.
First of all, the singer and guitarist of this band, Christian Nickel, he's seen us play at least once.
Okay.
And so I've met him briefly at shows.
Okay, excellent.
Really nice guy. You know, we can connect on guitar pedals. It was when we played with the Howlers.
Oh, far out.
Yeah. At Creston. Anyway, the other thing is that I have like looked because I met him. I've looked into his band. I've seen the name around town, and one of the a lot of the descriptors in like how they like categorize the music is a lot of stuff I like psychedelic or rock or indie.
I didn't look into any of that, so that's good to know too.
But one thing that they've included was like funk, and then so that's. I will admit that's kind of what I've never really looked more into this band. So this is still the first time I've heard this band, and what really turned me off was hearing funk.
Really, you don't like funk music that much?
I don't want to hear funk combined with psychedelic music.
Okay, I mean, it's like Funkadelics like that, right? Parliament,
right? But I don't think I just had.
You didn't think they were going to be doing that.
No, I thought it was going to be, and I was pretty right on. I thought it was going to be some like Black Keys kind of stuff.
Okay, so. That does happen. We don't know that yet. We're still on track 1, but yeah. The song is very long, really, really long.
It's long, but
it's long. It's really long for like a 4-note melody.
I think in going back to what I was just saying though, I was like more accepting of like writing this vibe because I was expecting some more just kind of like butt rock, and so I was like, oh, this is like some
because
nice...
of what you knew the band describes themselves
exactly.
as. Okay.
So I was expecting to kind of be like,
I guess you're right. I just had the like the name to go off of.
Yeah.
So you want to go to the next track? Mm-hmm. This next track is called "Can't Stand It."
Can't stand it.
Can't stand ya.
The first song or the first note I have, it says, "Ha ha." This kind of sounds like Julio's guitar playing.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
A little bit, you know.
There was the grunge chord kind of comes in.
Yeah.
That first chord, and I was like, all right, you know, and I was like, oh, this is telling me that we're maybe in for some more rocking. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
And then my next note here is, okay, never mind. This is sort of yucky, horny dad blues rock.
Yep. It's just like tones are good, but playing is good, but it's like blues soul vibe, and I just it's not my bag, baby.
I'm not really super into hearing like how horny some girl is making some guy, or how crazy said girl is despite how horny she makes the guy. You know, I'm like, it's not. I just like, I don't know. Like I'm not really into this kind of music.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't know if this is doing it well either. So
yeah, it's just like the only thing that was like holding together me was just like trying to channel like the 60s inspirations maybe, and like, but the vocals are buried, but you can, and just, I don't know, he can rip, but like, and also I just have a snare frowny face.
Yeah, I kind of like, yeah, the drums are really weak as hell.
Yeah.
It's kind of mediocre music. I don't really know what else to say. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of hate the voice of the singer here. Is this the same singer?
It's the same singer. That's the thing, is like, I was like, what?
Okay. We're going to talk about this again, but it kind of started making me cringe a little bit. Like, I was kind of like, and I might have even laughed a little bit, and Cassie was like, what? And I was like, it's this music. I'm glad we have video so you can like see that.
It is like, just kind of like,
and like, I think they're like trying to sound masculine and tough too.
But
right?
Like,
I'm not buying that for a fucking second.
Especially with the drums. Like, that's not masculine drums.
No, the drums are super weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like we're going to have to come back to that one. So
we're going to have more of this.
What do you think of the ending?
I don't know. I was just like, the last note I have is the snare frowny face.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next track.
Yeah. Speck of Dust.
Speck of Dust.
Despite the cringy style of the music, I think his voice is good for what they're trying to do, I guess. I think he can sing.
He has a good voice.
Yeah.
And I think he's making some really odd vocal writing. I think he might just be a really weak vocal songwriter in this genre.
Oh yeah. You have to have a really powerful voice to do stuff like this.
I just don't know if this,
I'm not sure if it's there.
It's missing the mark on so many rock things that it's like, it's so cringy.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go to the Speck of Dust thing. It kind of sounds, the amp kind of sounds like a hot rod. The cymbals are hilarious on it. Mm-hmm. It's another cringer, man.
It is. It's just like this is like supposed to be like a high energy song, and it's just not high energy at all.
It kind of made me laugh a little bit, kind of made me cringe, and the vocals were making me laugh. Mm-hmm. It was kind of stoner metal-y, like a wannabe, but the drums were way weird. There was a gong in there or something. Is there a gong? Was there an actual gong?
I don't know, or China symbol or weird
It might have been a weird China symbol, and I was like, is there a fucking gong?
And I want to go back to like my whole like thing of like listing the kind of genres your band is like when they put like so many different types of genres. That tells me that they don't. It's kind of like a red flag for me in a way, because it means that you don't necessarily. I feel like at some point you just kind of have to admit, like, this is the kind of music I make, and if you're trying to say you're a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you're kind of lying to yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of reasons for why this sounds this way. You know, and maybe we're not ready yet, but I'm like itching to get into why I think this is. The vocals are making me laugh though, and there's just some like weird, questionable drum choices too. Yeah. Like rods? Am I hearing rods the whole time?
I don't know if there was just a T-shirt on the snare or something.
Man, it sounds like really weak. Like it sounds just like fancy.
It sounds like a piece of paper.
It sounds like just some fancy boy shit. Like I don't know. I don't even know how to even talk. It's not rock and roll.
No.
So let's go to the next track.
Know the difference.
This has got a nice little soft intro thing.
Yeah. This is like back to the slow ambient thing.
Kind of Floyd as well.
Yeah, Floydy, and I'm like, this is more of my wheelhouse. Like, I can deal with this, and especially after like blues dad stuff.
What the fuck's going on here? Why is there these two different sounds so hard?
This is where like the funk and like the ambient stuff like kind of ties in.
Okay.
And like I was like, when you see those two things, you're just like, it can't be like consistent.
Do you think it's possible that we have a Sugartone scenario on our hands here?
Dude, maybe. I feel like Sugartone has more variants than this record.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But I'm seeing a lot of similarities, and I think we're gonna call it. What do you think? The Sugartone scenario? Sugartone situation?
Yes, Sugartone situation.
I think we have a Sugartone situation.
Yeah.
Where Scamps will know this. We had a really questionable take on the Sugartone Noise Company record. It was very unbalanced. We loved some of it and absolutely despised some of it.
Exactly.
And I'm starting to love this soft stuff of this.
Me too.
Okay.
Yes.
What the fuck is going on with this record?
It's because I don't really like. I just hate blues rock.
Okay, I like blues rock, but it's just not done very well. I don't believe it's not authentic, but this other stuff is really cool.
Another long one.
The drummer almost is ruining the listening experience for me.
It's so loose.
I don't know.
A lot of fun ear candy though for like guitar stuff.
Guitar and vocals.
Yeah.
Even like when the singer like chills out and sings.
Exactly.
These really beautiful, pretty songs. They're really nice.
It's really nice.
It's really, really off compared to the other shit.
It's just there's like such a maturity like difference in like just like the songwriting between like slow ones and like the rocker ones.
I mean, I don't think that these slow ones are like especially strong, but there is like
in comparison to the other ones.
Right. There's a lot really cool going on that I think the other genre just doesn't suit them.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it. And I think they probably should just abandon it or get way better at it. Like,
right.
And like, I'm saying this like a fucking rock and roller, man. I don't fucking buy it.
Right.
I don't buy it. I don't buy them coming up against some actual street rockers and like being able to prove their worth at all in that arena. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with like songs like those.
So what is this? Maybe this might be a 2-songwriter situation.
Yeah.
Where there's with one songs, and there's a third option. This might just be a young band from out of town, from like the Sticks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I always forget there's bands like, I mean, shit, Sugartone was from like Greenville or something. You know what I mean? And no offense to the Sticks, but like,
no,
it's not the city, and so like there's gonna be a different attitude about some genres,
Yeah.
And if you're a young band too, how old are these guys?
I know they are younger. They're definitely like mid to late 20s probably. I don't know. I think the singer is like quite involved, and he's like a lot of friends with like kind of the psych like Heaters crowd a little bit.
Okay.
So that's why I think I see him around more than I think I would just based on this music. But
some of this shit can translate better live too. Like
true.
When no one ever gets the chance to be like, what is he saying? And how is his voice tone? When it's just like overdriven and crazy.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Low a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like this.
For sure.
Jeff Buckley.
Mm-hmm.
There was some synth part that kind of was too loud that maybe turn it down. And I noticed that's a recording nitpick.
Yeah.
Overall, like it sounds pretty okay, especially considering they did themselves. There was like a synth that came in, and I turned it down. I think that was not the effect they wanted. I think they wanted like to be like yeah.
Right. Exactly. But
it's long.
It's so long.
There's a little splash cymbal that I fucking hate, and this one that's becoming more apparent. Don't let your drummer use a splash cymbal.
Yeah,
unless you're in the Presidents.
I learned the hard way. I used to like Splash, and then one day I awoke from my slumber.
Did a drum bully come and get you?
I don't know. I think I just like heard it one day, and I was like, "What have I been thinking?" Idiots.
7 minutes long on this one.
Whew.
Yeah. But I like this a lot better than the other songs I heard before it.
Yes.
You want to go to the next track?
Yeah. Buzzsaw Blitz.
Buzzsaw Blitz. I can tell.
If that's not the most like rock and roll kind of like, what the song sounds like.
I can tell that. The energy is just terrible on this rocker stuff. Like,
the
drummer's playing on rods. Like, this isn't rods, man. It's rock and roll music. Like or something, or just like real bad sounding snare.
I don't. Look, this one was weird to me because I didn't hate it as much as the other ones. Like, it's funky, and like I think I say I don't know. This is a cool song? ?
It's like kind of had like some Jimi Hendrix to it. Did you notice that? It has like some Jimmy guitar style where it's kind of going between like a country-ish lick and a bluesy-ish lick, and then now you're in soul, now you're in funk or whatever.
Yeah. So I did like it. more just because of that kind of like ambiguous kind of genre playing.
Yeah, their instincts just like aren't great on this kind of music.
The vocal effect I thought fit though, just kind of distorting the vocals a little bit. That helped a little bit.
I have Born to Be Mild.
Yeah.
Born to Be Mild. I can't wait for this to be over. Any more things on that one?
Let's go to another another song where you know exactly what it sounds like.
Ram Vamp. Yep. Kind of a southern rocker, right?
Dad's gonna love this.
I don't mind the southern rock kind of thing, but
I don't know.
There's a lot of hiss on this recording. And I'm starting to notice there's a ton of hiss on everything.
Yeah, and it's not like the cool lo-fi hiss. It's like the hiss.
Yeah, it's the bad stuff. I can hear the computer.
Yeah.
Your computer fan is picking up. Like, do I hear drumsticks all of a sudden? I think we had.
I think we had some drumsticks,
and we got to the sticks. Here we go.
Sticks.
I don't know what's going on with this accent, and I wonder if they're like from out of town.
Maybe,
because I don't know if you know, as a listener, if you go 10 minutes away from Grand Rapids, everyone's got a southern accent.
It's true.
It doesn't matter
we
what
were
direction.
Literally just talking about that upstairs with Allegan.
It doesn't matter what direction you go. If you go 10 minutes away from the city in any direction, you got a southern accent.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm from Hudsonville. Oh, really? I'm from Kentwood. Oh, I'm from Cadillac.
Right. And
that's not 10 minutes away.
Right, but
shout out Cadillac.
Holla.
I don't.
Yeah,
there's hiss.
It's blues rock. It's like southern blues rock, dad rock.
I don't hate the guitar tone.
Don't.
I have it here.
The tone, like
it's a solid body Gibson-y or Epiphone.
He plays a jazz master.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Is that solid body?
Solid body single coil.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think throughout the whole record, I really am very impressed with the
I
guitar tone.
don't know if it's a Gibson or Epiphone, but it kind of sounds like it. I feel like it sounds. So I think I'm a little close. That's a little bit like a mellow Strat sound.
Yeah, it's just a Fender. Yeah. Mellow single coil. But
tasteful bass playing.
Yeah.
I've been not talking about bass. I noticed we didn't mention bass on Moto at all. I don't think we mentioned his bass playing whatsoever.
Man, oops.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that guitar playing is very distracting because it's
he's
so good,
and you're waiting for it the whole time.
Yeah.
The bass playing on this is very nice, very very tasteful.
Yeah.
There's kind of a cool slowdown, like rock slowdown at the end of this, and there's some potential on this rock stuff.
Yeah.
But the vocals are really cringy, just like like I just man.
Yeah, it's kind of eye rolly.
It's cringe. Yeah, that's the only word I have for it.
Yeah.
You want to go to the next one? This one's called Try.
This is another slow one, and it's like this is like a different band to me at this point.
Yeah, another slow one.
Yeah,
and another one that I actually enjoy a little more.
I think this is like I felt this was the most boring out of the 3 slow songs.
I think so too. This one sounds like a grunge ballad, kind of like Pearl Jam or something.
Yep.
Did you get that too?
I did.
The mellow ones are cool though.
They are really
and
cool.
like it's so weird that the heavy ones are so different. Or like these are more different than the heavy ones, so they make the heavy ones seem weird.
It's really weird, very weird.
Right, and I think the heavy ones are the most of the album.
Yeah, I think they're like a heavy band is what they would describe themselves as. They're like, a rock band.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like at this point, It's very weird to kind of have like a boring song and you're like, this is a nice little break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're kind of like, oh, good.
Yeah.
I mean, what we have to do is it's like homework,
Yeah.
So we'll take any break we can get, right?
That's true.
Some Radiohead in here too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can tell that at least.
Interesting.
I think I like just based off of like the small conversations I've had with him and just like knowing the kind of friends he has, I think we would have like a lot of similar music tastes, and it's so weird to me then to hear the music they're making being so like not my thing.
Not everyone's going to be good at it,
Yeah.
or write amazing stuff that's going to move you. And even if it is good, you might just not like it.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of friends that make music, and it's like, man, I wish you made better music.
Same. Yeah.
And I have friends that are like, wow, that's great, and there's people that get better, but it's all about if you're young and if you're inexperienced, your stuff's not going to move that many people.
Mm-hmm. But you just keep doing it because you love it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know how old these guys are, but they sound like a young band.
Yeah, I think they're. I think they're young dudes.
Okay, cool. You want to go to the next track?
High Tides. another rock song.
Yeah, it's another actually kind of a cool riff, like
It's-
kind of a sweet little
It's
riff.
got like a little dancey feel.
Yeah, another good example on how to like ruin a good riff though, because the vocal melodies in this rock stuff is just so imbalanced.
Yeah.
And so long, and just I don't know what kind of try-hardy, kind of like wussy, you know, in a way. And I don't mean that like, as in like that's a negative thing. But if you're trying to portray some kind of like macho-ness, which I think they're trying to do, and it's coming off as not macho, you know what I mean? And you can feel free to try to convince me you're some kind of macho like Southern rocker, but I'm just not buying it.
Right.
And it just comes off as like poserdom.
You
know?
Like just kind of like lean into like the heavy, but like not try to be macho. Like Weezer, I feel like did a good job with that. Like they played heavy stuff, but like it was just like they're like
it has like horny dad energy.
Yeah.
You know, and Weezer has like horny geek energy,
exactly.
I guess. Which I believe these guys are probably more horny geeks than horny dads. You know?
That's true.
I don't know. Like I said, maybe they're like from just out of town. You know?
Oh, I can pull the liner notes real quick here.
Oh yeah, we got to get to that anyway.
Yeah.
And then the track after that is an outro track. And what's the name of the last one?
The Answer.
The Answer. And this is more that soft stuff.
Yeah, more that kind of Jeff Buckley, ambient kind of reverb stuff.
So inconsistent.
It's another long one, 5.5 minutes, and I'm like pretty exhausted by this point.
Yeah. This was the first one I did.
Yeah.
So I was like really looking forward to WOOTS album.
Yeah, it's kind of lifted you up with.
Yeah, and it did a little bit. So, and I'm like, I'm being really easy on WOOTS because I feel like I can't really accurately describe how I felt about his music after this music. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna curb some of these more like I don't know, hyperbole statements I'm gonna be making.
Yeah.
But like this record is also inconsistent.
Yeah.
But I think for different reasons.
Much different reasons.
And that's what I'm interested in, is trying to figure out what are those reasons.
I'm just like trying to imagine like being at one of their shows and like they do like this kind of like, horny dad rock, and then they go into like a slow one.
They're playing July 30th, Pyramid Scheme.
That's right.
So I plugged that. Rook at Spires, July 30th, Pyramid Scheme. Go check them out.
Yeah, with Nordy. Who else is on that bill? I can't remember, but KJ and the Good Time Family Band.
No, that's a different show. That's in September. One? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, KJ's playing with Patty.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I'm curious what they sound like live too. Like, are they even going to bother doing those soft ones? Probably not.
I don't know. I feel like they might. And
was it filler?
I don't think so.
I think it's two different songwriters.
I think it's the same guy, but he's just like he's trying to fit it all in one, and it's not really thinking about like the flow of the album.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did you like really enjoy listening to this one?
No,
not really. Yeah, I didn't really either.
No, except the slow ones.
The slow ones. I like a couple of those ones. So
yeah. It's not pizza.
It's not pizza.
It's not pizza.
Yeah.
So
that might be good for ratings for me.
Yeah. Let's go over some liner notes real quick while we're here.
That sounds awesome.
Drums by Tom Vander Velden, bass by Nick Schultz, and by Micah Stillwell. So bass by Nick Schultz,
people.
Is tracks 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and then Micah Stillwell did tracks 1, 6, and 9.
2 different sessions.
Christian Nickel, singer, guitar, and lyrics. Jordan Hamilton played cello on the last track.
Oh, very cool.
And Josh Holcomb played viola on the last track. Our friend Dutcher Snedeker played piano on track 4.
Okay.
From Blushing Monk and Earth Radio.
All right.
Album art by Johnny Klein. Tracked and mixed by Christian Nickel. Mastered by Adam Schreiber. And then they just have some thanks.
This is a band that I expect is going to be doing more, and they probably had a whole different plan for this record. I don't really. It's a kind of a weird, inconsistent thing that left me really scratching my head a lot.
Yeah, a lot of monocle moments.
A lot of sugar tone situations.
Yeah, but I think they're relatively popular around town. And I think they're like headlining their Pyramid Scheme show.
That's great.
So
that's great. Does that mean you have a good record? Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
But We had a great time talking about it. We want to thank Crooked Spires, and we want to thank WOOTS.
Thank you for entrusting us with your record and submitting to us. Really
thank you for everyone for listening to the show and joining us back after the break.
Exactly.
So we've been back a couple weeks now, alternate timelines. But for us, this is our first taping after a couple week break. It's been awesome hanging out with you, Dan.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Tell your friends and tell your family that we have accepting submissions at bandscamps@gmail.com.
Tell your family. Tell your dads we're going to do an episode of Dad Scamps.
Dad Scamps. I'm dying to do Dad Scamps.
We got to do Dad Scamps.
If we could get your dad on this, that'd be so awesome.
He'd love it. He's all about it now. We got to get everyone's dad. If your dad is in a band, send it to bandscamps@gmail.com.
We want to do a Dad Scamps episode. Support us on patreon.com/bandscamps. It's a great way just to keep these episodes nice quality.
Yeah,
it's quality.
It's all CGI.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. See, not even real.
Yeah, we have a special sound expert.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's Foley specialist.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Instagram, bandscamps_ for your latest memes. And we'll see you at the next episode.
This has been a Grand Rhapsody production. Executive produced by Dan Fisher and Julio Gomez.